Today we're doing 11.3 and we're talking about intercepts. Let's first start by defining y-intercept. Now you actually know what the y-intercept is. Remember in y equals mx plus b, this here is the b, or remember it's always 0 comma a number. So this is going to be of a line is the value of y where line crosses the y-axis, or in other words, this is going to be the ordered pair of 0 comma a number, so x will always equal 0. So the x-intercept is just the opposite. So this is going to be of a line is the value where of x where the line crosses the x-axis. So we're always going to have some number comma 0, and y will always equal 0 for the x-intercept. So I want to find the x and y intercepts of the following equation. 2x plus 3y equals 6. So all we're going to do is I'm going to find the x-intercept first. And remember, this is always going to be a number, comma 0. And since I know that y is always 0, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 0 for y. So I'm going to rewrite this as 2x plus 3 times 0 equals 6. And now I'm just going to solve for x. So since I know that 3 times 0 is 0, this is 2x plus 0, which is 6, which is the same thing as just 2x equals 6. Divide by 2, so you get x equals 3. So your ordered pair would be 3 comma 0. Now we're just going to do the same thing for the y-intercept. And we always know that this is going to be 0 comma some number. So just like we did in that first example, all I'm going to do is plug in 0 for x and solve for y. So again, you can think that this goes away, so you're left with 3y equals 6. Divide both sides by 3. So y equals 2. So my ordered pair is 0 comma 2. Now you can graph these two to make your straight line instead of doing it how we were doing it before with finding slope and y-intercept. So I want you to go ahead and try doing the x and the y-intercept for the following equation. 4x minus 3y equals 12. So pause the video, try it on your own, and then play it to see if you get it right. So what you should have done for the x-intercept, it says 4x plus negative 3y, or not y, 0, negative 3 times 0 equals 12. That will go away, so you're left with 4x equals 12. So then x you should have gotten 3. So the ordered pair is 3 comma 0. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the y-intercept. So I'm going to plug in 0 for x, solve for y. Again, that's going to go away. So I get negative 3y equals 12. Divide both sides by negative 3. So y equals negative 4. So my ordered pair will be 0, negative 4. Okay, this is our last example, and it says, an arcade deducts 3.5 points from your 50-point game card for each game you play. Write a linear equation and find the x and y intercepts. So you're going to create an equation just like you did in the last chapter, but now we're just not going to solve that. So we're going to say y equals, we're just going to create an equation in slope-intercept form. The word deducts means to take away. So when you spend money using your debit card, it's going to deduct money from your checking account. So we're going to do negative 3.5. Since we don't know how many games we're going to play, we're going to represent that with x. So x represents number of games. And then we already know that we start with 50 points, so we're going to say plus 50. So that's our linear equation right there. Now all I want to do is do x and y intercepts. So now that you have your equation, I want you to solve for your x-intercept and y-intercept, and then come back and compare your answer to mine. So I'm going to do x-intercept first. So I'm going to do negative 3.5x plus 50 equals 0. I would add a negative 50 to both sides to get negative 3.5x equals negative 50. Divide by negative 3.5. So x is equal to around 14.3. We're just going to round. So my ordered pair is 14.3, comma 0. Now I'm going to do the same thing for my y-intercept. And I'm just going to do negative 3.5 times 0 plus 50 equals y. Again, that's going to go away, so you're left with just 50 equals y, or your ordered pair of 0, comma 50. So I know that this one might be a little bit more difficult because you're creating that equation, but we're going to have more practice in class tomorrow. So at this point, you can go ahead and start your exit slip.